Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. Just a quick video today, but some news dropped last week that I thought some of you might be interested in hearing if you haven't heard it already. You may recall that back in October 2022, Avalon Hill attempted to reboot the old tabletop skirmish game, HeroScape. It went live on Hasbro's proprietary crowdfunding platform HasLab. The images you can see on screen now are from that original campaign. And while the existing core fans of the system were excited, the campaign met a somewhat muted response in other quarters. For various reasons, the campaign failed to gain the necessary traction to successfully fund. And in November 2022, Avalon Hill announced they were shelving the game for the time being. Fast forward to the 8th of June 2023 and there is new hope for HeroScapers, thanks to a recent press release from Renegade Game Studios. I'm going to read the press release here and then talk about it a little more after, but I'll link to the release in the video description below as well so you can read it for yourself. Renegade Game Studios is excited to announce that they are finalising expansion of their licensing relationship with Hasbro, a global leader in play, to produce the best-selling HeroScape tabletop game. Originally proposed for relaunch in October 2022 by Avalon Hill on Hasbro Pulse's crowdfunding platform HasLab, fans shared an outpouring of support for the game's revival. Now, the organisations have come together to usher in the long-awaited return of HeroScape for the hobby, mass and specialty markets. Renegade will also partner with Hasbro Pulse to make HeroScape available to as wide an audience as possible. Fans will get to experience classic elements of the game they love with all new content, alongside the introduction of terrain packs, faction boxes and more. Going forward, Renegade hopes to introduce new models in a variety of configurations and price points for both new and hardcore HeroScape players. HeroScape brought a lot of people into hobby gaming, and to this day there is a robust and passionate community. We look forward to growing that community and continuing to offer new and exciting models for gamers to enjoy, said Scott Gator, president and publisher of Renegade Game Studios. Additionally, we will be partnering with hobby stores to give HeroScape and its community of players the best home possible where they can make new friends and engage in exciting battles across Valhalla. Additionally, Renegade will provide online community and organised play support, including a future World Championship. Hobby stores can look forward to organised play and point of purchase support at launch. Fans have been clamouring for a revival of HeroScape and we've heard you. That's why we are tremendously excited to bring back and expand the beloved brand with the Renegade team, who are big fans themselves, says Bradley Bowman, licensing director of Global Toys and Sporting Goods at Hasbro. We're celebrating this return alongside our fans and look forward to offering existing players more ways to enjoy the game and introducing a whole new generation to HeroScape and its endless imaginative potential. So first of all, this is great news for HeroScape fans, both existing fans and those who were looking forward to the relaunch last year and were then disappointed it never happened. But unfortunately, there's a lot of key information we are missing at the moment, and while it may be possible to glean some ideas from the release, there's a lot left to the imagination. That being the case, what do we know and what do we think we know? Renegade was founded in 2014 by Scott Gator, who was also the founder of Cryptozoic Entertainment. The company has been responsible for publishing a varied range of games, several associated with huge intellectual properties such as Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, the Transformers deck building game, and G.I. Joe Mission Critical. Of course, all three of those brands are owned by Hasbro, so Renegade are no strangers to partnering with Hasbro to produce games for mass consumption, and this makes them an obvious choice for a licensing deal. But how are they going to launch HeroScape? Hasbro fell a long way short of funding on HasLab. Would Renegade go the Kickstarter route? Well, Renegade do use Kickstarter. As recently as this year they used the platform to fund the search for lost species, and G.I. Joe Mission Critical successfully funded on Kickstarter in May 2022. It is not beyond the realms of possibility that they would use Kickstarter for HeroScape 2. I searched around the internet for quite a while to see if I could find any more news on this point, but couldn't find anything concrete. However, I don't think crowdfunding of any kind is on the cards this time. It does say in the press release that Renegade will partner with Hasbro Pulse to make HeroScape available to a wide audience, but Hasbro Pulse isn't HasLab. Hasbro Pulse is what Hasbro calls an online destination for fans. It's where you can pre-order new items, find out about upcoming products, or engage with a variety of fan-centric online content. Incorporating Hasbro Pulse into advertising for a massive new game system makes sense, but it doesn't mean that HasLab will be involved in generating funds. Furthermore, something about the wording in the press release, such as referring to point of purchase support at launch and the focus on hobby store events, a future World Championship tournament, and building a grassroots fan base in local stores, suggests to me that they want to roll this out into stores rather than front-loading the system with a massive Kickstarter campaign. This would also tie in with their hopes to introduce new models in a variety of configurations and price points. Being priced out of the game was a big concern during the HasLab campaign, with the buy-in for the core set being too expensive for many people, and it was an immediate turn-off for people who just wanted to try the system on a small scale to see if they liked it. It seems that data from the failed campaign has been put to good use, as offering products at different price points suggests they are looking at ways to make the game more accessible at different buy-in levels and directly addressing those previous pricing concerns. The promise of terrain packs and faction boxes also seems to be a direct response to some of the criticism Avalon Hill faced during the crowdfunding campaign, and it looks like Renegade may be looking at a system you can build piecemeal rather than dropping a hefty wedge on an overstuffed starter set. But one of the big questions still remains: will the miniatures be pre-painted? I think it has to be a no. Renegade have offered pre-painted miniatures in their games before. Scott Pilgrim Miniatures The World had pre-painted miniatures, and I believe they released a pre-painted Megazord for Power Rangers. But on the whole, their miniatures are unpainted, and with the cost of producing pre-painted miniatures these days, I can't see them offering anything else for HeroScape. You only have to look at the cost of other pre-painted games like Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught to see how much a lick of paint adds to a game's sticker price. Besides, Renegade's press release made numerous references to hobby stores and hobby gamers. I think investing in your own paints and brushes is a given. There are more questions, of course. Will they try again with the miniatures and factions we saw in the crowdfunding campaign? Ooh, I don't know. Some of them were cool, like the polar bears, some of them weren't. I think response was a bit mixed, but the release said we can experience classic elements of the game with all new content. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to the drawing board and consider something a little closer to the feel of the original game. And there's the compatibility question too. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. I can't see them ever producing a new HeroScape that isn't compatible with the existing content the fans have. If they tried that, they might be looking for another partnership deal this time next year. Speaking of which, that's the last question. When is this actually happening? No clue. Sorry. Really, at the moment we just don't have much information to go on. Renegade have launched a dedicated website for news about HeroScape, and if you head over there you can subscribe to the newsletter to get updates. That's pretty much the best thing you can do for now. I will put a link for that news page in the video description below, along with a link for the press release, and with that, my work here is done. Let me know what you think about this announcement in the comments, because that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.